Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you about 5 gameplay facts in Street Fighter V that you may not be aware of. And the first one have to do with the poison damage. Obviously Fang is the only character in the game that can inflict the poison status effect. And we all know that poison does damage over time, right? Here Yuri is poison. If you look at her life bar, it is ticking over time and she is losing health. Now there is a very interesting side effect to this that you might not be aware of. So obviously when the opponent block medium or heavy attacks in Street Fighter V, they lose white HP, and that HP is recoverable. If you notice up there, Yuri lost some HP and was able to get this back. However, what's really interesting about poison is that it denies this. So for example, if we inflicted some white damage on Yuri, and then we inflicted the poison status effect, notice that as long as Yuri is poisoned, even if we are not directly fighting Yuri, she is not regaining the white HP back, right? The white HP is gonna be there and she will not be able to recover it. This is actually a very powerful side effect. When you consider that Fang is a character who have a ton of plus on block attacks, he can keep doing this, and obviously the V skill itself is an unblockable attack as well, so your opponent can't really play around it. You can really put together how powerful this can be. I know that a lot of players don't highly regard the poison effect, but really when you put into perspective the grey life thing and how it actually plays into Fang's strengths, I don't think it is bad at all. And now let's check out another element, and that is the ice element. And ice in Street Fighter V is quite interesting. Typically when you do a combo on someone, let's say something like that, you're inflicting stun damage as well as the regular damage, right? And when the opponent is not being attacked or is blocking for a while, this will gradually deplete or decrease until it's gone. Now what's really interesting about ice, and what most people commonly know, is that when you freeze someone, right, the stun bar is fixed, it doesn't go down. So as you can see, the stun bar doesn't deplete, right? It will stay there as long as they are frozen. Now there's also another really interesting aspect to ice that you may not know about, and it's really interesting. It's the fact that when you stun someone, let's say for example here was gonna stun Mika, right? Notice she's gonna get frozen, and what's really interesting here is that in the regular freeze, on the regular stun, you just get a jumping combo, right? However, when you stun someone with the freeze, they will get frozen, and if you notice, she's actually losing damage over time. So not only do you get the stun, you also get an added benefit of extra damage due to the freeze effect. Now keeping up with the elemental theme here, we're gonna talk about the burn damage. And burn in Street Fighter V or fire is actually really interesting, and in a way it is kinda similar to poison. For example, when you are inflicting the burn damage, this is the V-Trigger Molotov from poison. It is doing damage over time, but it is doing grey damage over time, right? This is obviously what we know, and that is very powerful and very good because the next hit will take a lot of out of the hearth, right? Now what's really interesting about the burn damage is that it doesn't scale in combos. So pretty much this is fixed damage. Regardless of how early or late the burn kicks in the combo, it's gonna do the same damage regardless. So let's actually check out an example. Let's gonna do a counter hit combo with poison. This did 200 damage, right? Notice on the right it did 200 damage and 370 stun, and can have around 10% HP left, right? Now if we did the same combo but had the burn effect before it, look at the life bar on Ken. Obviously now he have less HP than he had previously, and it is still saying that the combo did 200 and 370 stun. The combo counter, it doesn't actually calculate the burn damage, so that's why in game the actual damage output of the combo was higher than 200, even if the training mode didn't show it. And because the damage doesn't scale, it's why you will see poison doing a lot of damage when he does something like this. This is like a very famous poison combo. It's saying here that this was 332, while in fact this was about 380 damage because of the inflicted burn damage. So burn damage not only does unblockable grey health or grey damage on block or on hit, it also doesn't scale on combos, which is very powerful. Now, one of the really interesting things about Street Fighter V and charge characters is that not all of the charge specials require the same amount of time to charge. So for example, for Chun-Li, you will notice that the spinning bird kick, this will require 40 frames of charge, while the Kikoken, right, the fireball, this require 50. So Chun-Li have to charge for longer to get the fireball out, the Kikoken, than she needs to get the spinning bird kick out. And this could even be different within the different versions of the attack itself. So for example, the regular bird kick, this is 40 frame of charge, while the EX is 45 frame of charge, right? This is obviously done for balancing purpose. We know that Chun-Li can do a bread and butter combo like that, but she can't really do that into fireball, right? That is the limitation. Or can she? Now, moving on from what I was just saying, we established that the fireball require a longer charge time. So obviously Chun-Li's basic bread and butter combo or pressure sequence is crouching light punch, standing medium punch into crouching medium kick. And typically you can get a spinning bird kick after this because the charge window is kinda lenient, right? You have a lot of time to get this. However, the issue here is that the charge window is very difficult if you wanna get a fireball, and if you happen to press back plus medium punch, Chun-Li obviously have two different medium punches. This is the neutral one and this is the forward and backward. So you can't really hold back plus medium punch and then get the block string going. Now Street Fighter V have a very interesting system, and it's called the input buffer. And input buffer pretty much means that the game is storing your inputs, right? So pretty much if you do an attack early, the game will still give you that attack on time. It's pretty much a way for them to make the combo execution easier by having a more forgiving window, right? However, you can actually abuse this to a very powerful effects. Now typically what we wanna do is crouching light punch into neutral medium punch, directionless medium punch, as you can see above. Now take a look at the following. Take a look at my inputs. I did crouching light punch into up backwards medium punch. Take a look at it again. Crouching light punch into up back plus medium punch, and I got standing medium punch. This is because I manipulated the game. Using the input buffer, I pressed the medium punch during that window, and when I did this, the game considered that I was doing medium, and because I was in the air, because I'm doing up plus the normal, it gave me the default medium punch, right? And this is very powerful because this will allow Chun-Li to do techniques like the one I'm gonna show you now, right? Typically, if you are in the corner, this is gonna combo. It does require some spacing, but as you can see, you can do bread and butter combo with Chun-Li into fireball. Even if you are blocking, this will work as a block string. Again, notice the input on the right. I'm gonna zoom in now so you can see it better. And this is a very high level tactic, but it is actually very cool. Now I don't know in all honesty how many characters can really abuse this. I know for a fact that Chun-Li is one of the characters where this is most prevalent, but it's a very interesting fact and a very high level strategy that you could certainly use to your advantage. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon page and the Discord server page in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.